What's up, people? It's Desmond Patterson once again, and welcome to the 2020. Um, all the YouTubers, my YouTubers at Diesel Des Patterson, um, Facebook. What's up? Um, so that was a loss that was pretty tough to watch. Um, where do I start with this one? You have to at this point of the season, with the way things are going with this team, you really have to take the emotion out of it. You have to take the as a fan, it'll drive you crazy rooting for a team who, again, they're growing. You got a first year head coach. This is his first time as a head coach at any level above high school. Um, he has not been a head coach in college. He has not been a head coach in the NFL. He was a coordinator in title alone. He was an offensive coordinator under Andy Reid, and we all know Andy Reid calls his own plays. Um, they said toward the last half of the season that Doug called the second half of games. He called the second half of the game again in the playoff loss. Um, and that may be true. But his inexperience as a head coach, as a play caller, is fully on display now. They started off the game pretty good. If you want to count wide receivers catching balls as pretty good, because they were catching balls. Um, but the tone of the game was set when they just came out throwing the ball once again. Um, I said in the pregame that if there was a game that they should come out and attack a secondary, this is the secondary that they should attack. Because coming into this game, they were, and this is the discouraging part. They showed the graphic during the game out the amount of points that this defense has given up in the last month. The last four games, they have given up no less than 31 points. Um, so that right there kind of lets you know where this team is, because they were not facing a dominant defense in no sense of the word. They were facing a bottom five defense in the league. Did that look like a bottom five defense to you guys? Um, I'm quite sure it didn't. At times they looked downright dominant against this offense. So that right there kind of lets you know where this team is as far as where they need to be, um, where you need to slot them in the league. The numbers can say what the numbers can, you can make the numbers say whatever you want them to say. Um, Now and again, I gotta say this. Um, Even though they were a bottom five defense, this is a team that's been to the playoffs for 7 years in a row. They have a lot of guys on this team that are prideful guys. They have a head coaching staff that has been together for eons. Green Bay coaches do not leave. Green Bay position coaches do not leave. Green Bay coordinators do not leave because they know that they have a good thing in Green Bay. And with Aaron Rodgers, at any point they can be in the playoffs. At any point they can be in the thick of a playoff race. And that win tonight put them squarely back in that race. Now, they still have to overtake the Minnesota Vikings, and they still have to overtake the Detroit Lions. But they already have a win against the Lions in Detroit, so Detroit has to come to Lambeau. Did Detroit have to come to Lambeau? I believe. Um, no. Green Bay has to go to Detroit, I think. But either way, Minnesota has to play Dallas this week. Um, so if things hold true to form, Dallas will win that game, um, and it will bring Minnesota back closer to Green Bay, giving them a shot to leapfrog them next week. Um, so when you have it bugged me all week and all weekend to hear them talk about how Aaron Rodgers and this 4-6 Green Bay team. Listen, the team is 4-6, but if you watch Aaron Rodgers play, I said in the pregame, this guy's still throwing lasers. He still has 25 touchdowns on the season. He's still completing a high percentage of passes, and he's still Aaron Rodgers. Saying Aaron Rodgers is playing bad is like saying Jordan only dropped 33 on a team. It's Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like at any point he could just blaze you. So that kind of like set me in a way where I was like, you know what? This game is not going to go the way that people are expecting it to go. Um, I felt like going against this team that they could approach 30. That was my goal number, that they could approach putting up 30 on this team. Um, but it would have to have been done in a way uh, with them running the ball. Um, they had some success, and then if my memory serves me correctly, they threw the ball like 7 times in a row. I mean, listen. Doug Peterson is all over the place with his play calling. Um, that there's no continuity, there's no flow, there's no rhythm, um, and and he's putting too much pressure on this kid. He's a rookie and he's throwing the ball how many times a game? Uh, they're putting too much stress on the kid. Now, coming into the night, you lost a offensive lineman who was playing some very good football in Brandon Brooks. So you already had Barbary switching from left guard to right tackle because Vitae has an injury, and then you're inserting Wisniewski into the left guard position. But then with Brandon Brooks, you had to put the rookie in, and the rookie was only coming in on run heavy downs. Uh, they were using him as an extra, like a tight end to block. So he had really never had a pass set in a game before tonight. He played pretty good, but just the cohesiveness of the offensive line was a little bit off. Um, I put a post up on Facebook about, at this point, this is just the rest of this season is solely about evaluation, about evaluating this team. Period. Point blank. You might see them feature a player one game just to get a feel for him. Um, Tonight they went to DGB early. You might as well have called it the DGB drive. Uh, and then he wasn't on the field again. I mean, he was on the field, but they didn't go back to him. You know, I don't get this coaching staff, and I don't get the way that they do things. Um, I'm kind of tired of seeing all the switching around and the different personnel groupings and trying to get cute and fancy and trying to dictate matchups. And I mean, listen, I say this, I think I say this on a weekly basis. If you have to scheme every play for a specific player to get open, and they don't give you the coverage that you're looking for, it's kind of hard for the kid. I call Carson Wentz the kid. It's kind of hard for the kid if you don't have the talent to get open on your own. If a player can't run and gain separation on a specific route, and the coach has to kind of do a flood concept to overflood the zone with receivers in order for somebody to break open, is really hard. And I'm gonna continue to say that this team has to get players who are um, who can get open on their own with their own talent and their own skill level. Um, Devontae Adams repeatedly got open on simple routes, a slant. Uh, I'm not gonna keep you guys up. It's late. I know I'm a night owl. I'll probably be up for another 3 hours, but I'm not gonna keep you guys. Um, but defensively, defensively is what kind of worried me tonight. Um, because here you have a team who, a side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, who they've been playing, they've been playing together for a while. They're fairly healthy. Um, and I didn't see what I needed to see from specific players. Um, Kind of borrowing. He he's he's invisible too much of every game. Um, they need to get more from this guy, and I don't know if he has it. Uh, he's getting older. Let's just face it. He's getting older. He's getting older. Um, and that position, that right end position, is a premier position in the NFL. The right end is a premier position in the NFL. And I'll tell you how it goes. It goes quarterback, it goes left tackle, it goes right end. That's the order of player of the premier levels in this league. Some people think it's wide receiver. Some people think it's running back. It goes quarterback, left tackle, right end. Uh, and if your right end is not a premier player in this league, um, you see what's happening. They're not getting any pressure from over there. He's not causing any havoc on the quarterback. He's not making Aaron Rodgers move his feet. Um, Half of the time, the quarterback escapes out of that side. Um, a lot of run yards come to that side. I kind of stayed off of it for a little while, but tonight it was fairly evident and plain for the world to see. Number 98 is not giving this team what it needs. Um, I'm not even gonna start on the cornerbacks. I've spent enough of my life force energy on on cornerbacks. Um, that's just a position that's just not going to correct itself. And you're not going to find anybody this late in the season. We're into December now. So these guys will be here for the next 5 games. Uh, Nolan Carroll signed a 1 year deal. I think McKelvin signed a 2 year deal. Uh, I mean, they lost Ron Brooks, but Ron Brooks was, I can't say that was earth shattering. Um, Matter of fact, it was not an earth shattering thing. It kind of cut down on our depth, but as far as the play, I mean, can you name one play that Ron Brooks made while he was playing? I can't. Um, he was not a difference maker. My cousin put something up. He said to get in the scout mode, and that's basically what it is. It's scout mode time. This is specifically about evaluation. I don't need to evaluate anybody. I can go down this whole roster right now and tell you who I would cut the day the season ends. the day that this the day the season ended, they would be out of the door. I would clean out their locker for them. But this game was exactly what the fan base needed to see to stop all of the yelling and screaming and hollering. They got a long way to go. Some people got on me last week for saying I didn't want to see this team in the playoffs. Uh, Now y'all see why. I listen. This was a Monday night game, the only game on, and everybody saw it. Everybody saw that these cornerbacks are. I mean, literally, Aaron Rodgers threw a ball right past Nolan Carroll's ear hole. Um, these guys do not have. I like Jalen Mills. Don't get me wrong. Number 31. This kid, he plays with the most confidence out of all of them, and he's a seventh round rookie. So you know, for what it's worth, you getting more than your money's worth out of this kid. He has played against some of the best wide receivers in this league, and he keeps going out and he keeps battling. Um, he has the talent. He just needs to learn a few things, um, and then put some of those lessons to work and technique wise. McKelvin, we talking about a dude who's like a 8 year vet, a 9 year vet. Nolan Carroll, same thing, 6 7 year vet. He's 29. He's 29 years old, so he's a 6 year vet. He played 4 years in Miami already, and then this is his no 4 years. Yeah, he played 4 years in Miami. Uh, so I'm the most disappointed in him. Um, on that touchdown pass that Aaron Rodgers threw over his shoulder blade, Rodney McLeod, who was playing again this single high safety, they was in man to man, and Nolan Carroll and Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins was playing the slot. Nolan Carroll was playing the outside receiver, and McLeod could not play straight up because McKelvin had been getting burnt so much. So once the ball was hiked, he started shading. He started shading to McKelvin's side, and Aaron Rodgers just went the other way. Um, if he was able to play straight up and wait until he saw the ball in motion instead of taking a false step this way, it might have made Aaron Rodgers hold the ball a little bit longer and get the pass rush at least a chance to get there. Um, I'm tired of seeing this team blitz seven people, but the cornerback is not up on the line of scrimmage jamming the wide receiver to at least throw off the time and give the defensive line a chance to get there. Now you can't with McElvin out there. I guess they're like, look, we can't afford that because if the rush doesn't get there and he gets beat, we giving up six. So some things we're just gonna have to deal with for the rest of the season. Um, but we could put the playoff thing to bed tonight. That can stop being a topic. Um, again, I got a little abused last week for saying that, but people who know me know I'm a fan. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't wish nothing negative on them, but I just know football, and I like watching good football. And I saw a bunch of games this weekend that was good football, and I was expecting to see a good game tonight, and I did not. Um, I saw a rookie out there with too much pressure on his shoulders and not enough help. Um, not his fault. That pick was definitely his fault. Uh, but that throw, I feel like he felt he had to try to make something happen. But you got to be smart about it. If they're playing a single high safety and the safety is right over top of the player that you're throwing to, you got to be money. You got to be pinpoint. You can't overthrow that ball. You can underthrow it and make him come back to the ball, but you can't overthrow that ball. Um, and there were two other reads that he could have went to on that. That just was not the time to take that shot, and he did. But again, we can put the playoff scenarios to bed, um, and just watch this team and just watch this kid develop. See if Doug Peterson starts to have some continuity to his play calling, some rhyme or some reason. Like at this point, usually when you see a team in the NFL, you can you can tell what that team is. They have an identity. This team has not established one yet. Maybe they will before the end of this season, um, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. Um, identities for a team are usually established in training camp. Um, over the off season, the coaches kind of say this. Look, this is what we're going to hang our hat on. Like there is no staple play in this offense that they can go to in a tough situation. Um, when they need to get 5 or 6 yards, it's always something different. Um, Doug Peterson said something about a month back that kind of struck me like, huh? And he said about a player or a coach. I can't remember exactly which one it was, and then I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you guys go. He said somebody asked him about somebody knowing the whole playbook, and he said only one guy knows the whole playbook. And they kind of repeated it, and he repeated his answer. He said only one guy knows the whole playbook, which means there's too many damn plays. If you the only one that know the whole playbook, it's too many plays. There's too many plays, man. Entirely too many plays. He's spending too much time trying to practice a bunch of plays instead of learning specific plays and perfecting those plays. They're, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And they need to have a few plays that they can pull out, that they can run, and they run consistently and execute it consistently. And they're not there yet. Um, Again, I love the makeup of this team, um, but they need they need some things. They need some more pieces. And the one thing they need is to stop shooting themselves in the foot and boneheaded. These defensive penalties that extend offensive drives, they gave Aaron Rodgers 3 more chances with the ball, and they scored every time. Whether it be field goal or a touchdown, but every time they committed a penalty on a drive and they extended it, Aaron Rodgers made them pay and they capitalized. Um, you cannot continue to do these things. Um, and then they look stupid and shake their head. You know, Brandon Graham has jumped off sides a couple times. Fletcher Cox has, and his penalties are huge. It's not only a first down, but it's 15 yards. Like he cannot keep getting those type of penalties. Um, this is an undisciplined team. It really is. It's an undisciplined team. Uh, one week, Ertz had 3 false start penalties. Uh, Jason Peters, I think he's got 9. Now, Jason Peters, his is a little different. Jason Peters, for the last 3 years, if you watch this team, he always cheats on his get off. He probably could have been flagged for false start about 30 or 40 times in the last 3 seasons. He's always a beat early, but that's because he's getting older. He's a wily vet. He does that. He tries to cheat the snap count. Um, but they got to stop making these penalties. Um, like I said, the rest of this is the way that these last 5 games is going to be specifically about evaluation. So that's where management comes in. I hope Howie got a big gigantic notebook and he's taking notes, because there's going to be a whole lot of turnover on this team this year. I wouldn't get attached to too many people. um, I kind of like, um, have not bought a jersey. I intend to buy one. I haven't bought one in years, and but that was because of a statement that was made by Joe Banner years ago, about the fan base, and they don't make decisions based on the fans wants. Uh, and he said if all 65,000 fans stop coming to games, there's 65,000 more fans on the waiting list. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I had refused to give them money. I haven't bought anything Eagles in a while. I had refused to spend money on the team, but I still supported the team, still supported the players. Um, but Joe's been gone now for years, um, and I love this team, so I'm gonna keep supporting them. I'm gonna keep watching them. I want to see Wentz do good. I want to see Wendell Smallwood start to get more carries. They just keep saying the same things. We're gonna give him carries, and they give him carries, and he produces, and then they stop. They shut it down. So that can't be the case. Uh, that can't be the case. You can't run a team the way that Doug's running this team. And again, he's still learning also. Um, but we're gonna have to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's nothing like Chip Kelly. Um, these players love him. He's good in the locker room. He's good with the front office. And Jeffrey Lurie is not a quick trigger. He's not gonna pull the quick. He's not gonna pull the trigger on Doug. I don't feel like Doug deserves to be. I think he deserves some heat, but I don't think he deserves to be criticized as much as some people. I don't think he's Andy Reid Jr. Um, he does show some of those tendencies, but again, this guy has spent the majority of his career under this guy, so of course there are going to be some similarities. But I see him going in a different direction than Andy. Um, and I think he's going to be a really good coach. He understands the game. He understands his quarterback. He understands what he's seeing. He understands what he's looking at, and he can communicate things better with him being the quarterback. That was an interesting thing that I wanted to tell you guys. Um, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott have a lot in common other than just being drafted this year and being quarterbacks and having some semblance of success in their rookie year. Dak Prescott more so, but the offensive line that he's playing behind and the running back that's behind him has a whole lot to do with his success. Um, but Carson and Dak and the kid down in Denver, um, what is his name? Uh, I can't believe I just lost Simeon, Trevor Simeon. They all have something in common. They're all having success, some semblance of success as a rookie, and all three of their coaches were legitimate NFL backup quarterbacks who played in the league. Um, and I think that fact has a whole lot to do with them and the success that they're experiencing because their head coaches were quarterbacks. Um, and I see those relationships growing and expanding, and I see Carson getting better. He still has to know when to you know not make that dumb throw. Um, he's starting to press. He's starting to press because this kid wants to win. Um, and when he feels like just like safeties, when they feel like they have to do more than what they should, things go bad. Um, but we got we've been saying this for years, but there's better days ahead for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're a young team. They're on the grow. Um, and I will continue to support them and continue to watch them. I stayed on here a lot longer than I intended to, but I'm gonna let you guys go. Check me out. I'm gonna throw up a couple more videos sometime this week. Um, and if you got time, shoot me a little message, shoot me a note, DM me, comment, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Um, and I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing it on a weekly basis. I got a whole lot of things that I want to bring to you guys that I find interesting. Maybe you will too. Um, but until the next time, my name is Desmond Patterson. That's been in 2020. Peace.